Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're doing another hotel unboxing. I'm just finishing up CES and I'm about to fly home tomorrow, but I managed to get my hands on the new Moto 360 while I was here. And this is the third generation of the product. If you're unfamiliar with the Moto 360, you shouldn't be. The Moto 360 is one of the most, I'd say, famous Android Wear watches ever. Obviously, Android Wear, now called Wear OS. The Moto 360 was one of the original Android Wear watches. Okay, there was an LG and a Samsung that were the launch devices, with the Moto 360 coming later. I actually think the Moto 360 was the first one announced, and it was beautiful. That design is like legendary today. It's like, I know people that still wear those original Moto 3. Well, there was a second gen too that looked the same, and then a Moto 360 Sport as well. Beautiful device, completely flat, minimalistic. Had a little flat tire on the bottom of the display because the bezels were so small that they couldn't make it perfectly round, but it was easy to ignore because the thing was so nice. That original one had a TI OMAP 3 processor, where the other Android Wear watches had a Snapdragon 400. And then obviously they upgraded the specs with the second gen. And now this is the third gen, but it's not made by Motorola. And the reason we haven't seen one in so long is because Motorola said it's not doing smartwatches anymore. And you can't really blame them, because it's like Android Wear OS is not a huge business. So this is made by a company called eBuyNow, and they basically license the brand. So what's cool about the box is that it's a very similar box that the original Moto 360 came in, that round box. Obviously, it didn't say Wear OS by Google. It really just said Moto 360 down here, and then a picture of the watch up here. But it's super cool that they use that same style. All right, so let's open this up. This one is obviously Phantom Black. It comes in two other colors. It comes in stainless steel and rose gold. Well, they're all stainless steel, but it comes in like a silver color and rose gold. So there's the actual watch in there. So we can pull this up this way and just get this out. So obviously it doesn't come with the band attached to it. The band that it comes with is a silicone band, right? And oh, it's textured, which is kind of cool. Let's see what this one is. And oh, this is looks like a leather band. So that's kind of cool that it actually comes with two bands. Usually, well, literally every other time that I've seen a smartwatch come with two bands, it's usually just two sizes. It's usually just two sizes of the same band in case one doesn't fit, a small one and a large one. We've also got some paperwork in here. Oh, and there's going to be a charging cradle. Now this uses 2 pins for charging. All right, and that is a departure from the original Moto 360. The original Moto 360 did have a wireless charger, which was really nice. Considering being one of the first smartwatches, it was also one of the first to use wireless charging, which was very, very nice. So here's the thing, right? You just got these 2 pins on the back for charging, and you wear this thing for long enough, those things kind of start to get dirty, and it's harder to charge. You have to clean them from time to time. That's not an issue with wireless charging. It's also not an issue with Fossil watches. Fossil watches still have those 2 pins on the charger, but the device itself actually has a ring that goes, or 2 rings that go around to connect. So it's just a bigger surface area to connect. So you don't have those problems with it getting dirty on those 2 tiny little points. So a couple other things. We can look at the design. We can try to boot this up. Oh, there it goes. It will boot up. And we got plastic covering it, as you can see. But it is booting up. You can already see it has some bezel. And that was something that those original Moto 360s did not have. And again, that was the reason we had that flat tire. And when I say flat tire, it was like the display wasn't completely round. There was a flat line on the very bottom. And so yeah, this was not going to have that flat tire, obviously. And I guess that's fine. It's still has a very minimal design, those kind of flat edges, that flat top. The thing is, since the days of the Moto 360, I feel like the Android Wear market has focused a lot more on design, and we've seen a lot of very pretty devices. We've seen cool stuff from Fossil with the Gen 5 smartwatch, which is frankly beautiful, stuff like that. We've seen different, like the Misfit Vapor Tool 2 was cool in its own way as well. Lots of pretty, like we've seen it focus on fashion, we've seen focuses on sport, and something like this, it's not pushing boundaries the way that the original Moto 360 did with that so that those narrower bezels, but it is still beautiful. You got to give it to that. It's very nice. All right, so this is all set up. I paired it with an iPhone this time. And welcome to Wear OS. We're trying to learn more. There we go. Oh, that is a flight that I don't have, but here we go. If we swipe in, we got this demo that's forced every time you set up a Wear OS watch. This is Google Assistant. If you swipe in from the left, if you swipe in from the top, you get quick settings. Ooh, 38%. I'm gonna have to charge this. Oh, all right. And from the bottom, you get notifications. Tap to expand. Tap to close. Swipe to dismiss. Whoops. Yep. All right. Swipe down to go back. Swipe in here. This is where you get tiles, which are actually kind of cool. It's kind of quick views of different things. You can do heart rate. You can do weather, calendar. All right. Touch and hold to change tiles. Tutorial. All right. And then, oh, no. Now we want to go back. All right. Swipe. Press for apps. Press to go back. Okay. Oh, and change watch face. That's a tutorial you have to, because I've reset so many watches. And we want to go back to the watch. I reset so many watches just because, just to switch them to another device. But oh, it's installed without no, not yet, because I'll have to pause the video. But just to switch devices, and every time I have to go through that tutorial. Well, we can see the band that comes with it. That there's a little pin right here, and I'm not sure which side goes on which one, but we'll find out. But all we have to do, put one pin in here, and then just pull back on that one, and it should, it's a snug fit right there, but there we go. And then for the top one, hopefully the top one, we'll just put this in here, and it's a very snug fit. If we just snap it in there. Nope, that did not work. All right, we'll try that one more time. All right, finally got it. So you can tap to sign into Google Fit. That's another thing that takes forever when setting up a new Wear OS watch. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, and it's still gonna do a loading screen for a while. Android Wear Wear OS. I keep calling it Android Wear. I'll probably never stop. But it's very clunky. You get these weird long loading screens, and this is the best it gets because this thing actually has a Snapdragon Wear 3100 chipset. Here's more stuff I have to click through just to set up Google Fit. You would think that it could possibly just sync with my account and use those same settings that I've always used 100 other times, but no. Like I said, Snapdragon Wear 3100, which is the newest chipset from Qualcomm. Also, it's got 1 gig of RAM and 8 gigs of storage. That 1 gig of RAM is critical. By the way, you do have an always-on display. That 1 gig of RAM is critical. It's I've reviewed a lot of Wear OS watches with the Wear 3100 now, and man, does that make a difference. And what's weird is all I'm seeing on the market are 512 megs of RAM and 1 gig of RAM. And mostly from Fossil, because Fossil makes a ton of stuff between all the brands like Misfit, Diesel, Armani, Michael Kors. It's all Fossil, and they're all based on 2 models, which is the Fossil Sport and the Fossil Gen 5 smartwatch. So it's either 1 gig of RAM or 512 megs, and there's no 768 anymore. So 512 is not enough. You will notice some serious lag, serious stuttering. 1 gig makes all the difference, and this has it. Okay, so also 1.2 inch circular AMOLED display. Okay, full color always on display, which Full color always on display, that comes from the 3100. That's part of Qualcomm's big, small, tiny architecture, which allows for doing stuff like that without sucking down battery life. Now, the thing about an AMOLED display is what's cool is you get true blacks. And any wearable device like this, you want that AMOLED, because with a regular LCD, you can see that the whole screen is on because there's a backlight. So with AMOLED, you get true black, and that means you don't really see where the screen ends and the bezel begins. That's how a lot of smartwatch manufacturers get away with having a larger bezel. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. This is the Moto 360. It's got that, it has that minimalist feel that the Moto 360 does. I do feel like it loses a little bit of what made it particularly special. It might just be because those old Motorola Moto 360s came at a time when there was nothing special on the Android Wear market. I will call it Android Wear because it was Android Wear at the time. But it came at a time when there really was nothing special. And now there really is a lot that's special on the market. So this actually has a lot to compete with. So it is pretty cool. It's beautiful. I like the strap. I like both straps. It's nice. I love how it keeps with a lot of the spirit from the original Moto 360. But, you know, I'm going to have to review it to see if it really does that original watch justice, because, man, that original Moto 360 is a classic. I know people that still wear, like tech reviewers that still wear it because it was just so beautiful, you know, and it was ahead of its time. So the brand is back, and that's pretty cool. So stay tuned. I'll have a review in a couple of weeks. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.